As a nurse at the Pregnancy Network, I get a lot of questions about implantation bleeding. If you know you're pregnant, it can be scary to experience any amount of bleeding. If you don't know you're pregnant, implantation bleeding can be mistaken as your period. So what is implantation bleeding and how can you know the difference? Implantation bleeding typically occurs 10 to 14 days after conception, and around the time you could be getting your first positive pregnancy test. Not every woman experiences this kind of bleeding, but it is attributed to the fertilized egg attaching to the uterus. Typically, the main difference between implantation bleeding and your monthly period is the amount of bleeding you experience. Implantation bleeding tends to be much lighter than menstrual bleeding. If you are sexually active and find yourself having an abnormally light period, you may want to take a pregnancy test just to be sure. If you know you're pregnant and you're experiencing bleeding, you should know when to seek medical attention. You will need to be seen by a medical provider if you are bleeding heavily, passing clots, or experiencing severe cramping pain. I'd also like to add that you know your body better than anyone else, and if your gut tells you something is wrong, there is no harm in seeking medical attention.